Here, standing with Moses and Rhoda. They are a married couple working in the same church together, and they took the marriage and counseling class. And this was a first. This is the first time we've had a married couple in all these classes. So I thank you for coming, taking time. I know you're busy because you're in another class right now. But just to share what the class meant to you, how it impacted you, how it's affected you personally as a couple, and then how you see this information working out in the future and possible opportunities in ministry. So if you would introduce yourself and then just share from your heart. Moses, you're going to do it first.
Moses Osamu. I'm a member of KAG Bahati in Nairobi, and I was in the class of marriage and counseling led by Reverend Mark and Judy. And for me, it was a very good experience, because the things that I did learn out of that class is basically taking me back to what God's plan for marriage is, what God's design for marriage is, because what has been happening, or what I've seen happening in many marriages, there is a breakdown in the family institution because of people have gotten away, they've run away from God's design for marriage. But what we learned in that class is taking us to the original plan of God for me as a husband and for her as a wife. And I've really come to understand what God's expectation of me is in this marriage, in the sense that now I understand that we have both of us to submit to God, Christ, because He is the head of that family, and everything that happens in that family, it needs to happen. It happens because God is the one who has ordained it to happen in that way. And so I need to understand what my role is according to the Word of God. She needs to understand what her role is according to the Word of God. And in that way, then, we'll be able to bring up a godly generation. Yeah.
Yes. Rhoda?
Yeah, I'm Rhoda, married to Moses, Rhoda Wanchiko. I'm a pastor with Kenya Assemblies of God Bahati. And I deal with teens, youth, teens, and young adults. And I have learned a lot through the class. And just as my husband has said, we've learned about godly marriage, because, like now in Africa, we also have the cultural marriage. There's what we believe. And in the issue of submission, we believed that women should submit and men should love. But one thing that we have learned, that we also need to submit to one another. He needs to submit to me, I need to submit to him. And, with that, we are able to love one another, we are able to understand one another, we are able to communicate in the right way because of submission. And also I've learned that men have an empty box. And the empty box, at times, I've been having a problem with my husband. At times, I would find him maybe thinking he's just staring something. And I would ask him, "Are you okay?" He said, "Yes, I'm okay." "What are you thinking?" "Nothing." "What are you thinking?" "Nothing." So about the empty box, the way a man thinks, it has really helped me. And the way I've been disturbed about, no, I don't know what I have done, I don't know what's wrong with him. Now I don't have those questions. I give him his time when he just wants to be there and think and just be in his empty box. I have learned that is part of his life, and I shouldn't be disturbed about it. And I thank God also for this class, because we've been dealing also with young people who are getting married. We've been doing counseling to them, and now we've become better people. We didn't have so much material. We didn't have a lot of material that we could help them with. But through this class, it has really enabled us to have more material that we'll be able even to share with them a lot and a lot. And I thank God for you people, because you've been a blessing to us. if if I look at what we used to believe in and compare to what I have learned, there's a lot of things that I need to go and undo and start applying what I have learned. I've also seen change in my house. My husband has been so helpful, especially in the kitchen. So we thank God for that, and he's been really giving me surprises. For the, we celebrated our 10th year in our marriage, and when I look back for those now 10 years, I can see a big change immediately after the class, or when we started the class. There's a big change I'm seeing in my marriage, and I thank God for you too. You've been a blessing to us, and you really impacted our marriage, and yeah.
Thank you.
But more than that, let me also add to what she's saying. I think what you learned in class is not only going to help us in our marriage. Actually, it's already helping us in our marriage, but not only that, because we work with young couples.
Oh,
We have been doing this for a number of years now, but just the way she's saying, right now we have more information, we have more confidence, and we believe that our ministry has been empowered. And the empowerment that you have gotten as a couple is what we want to now share with other people. And so we are really grateful for you and Judy for giving yourselves out to us. All that information, all that knowledge, it has really empowered us, and we are very grateful for that.
Oh, thank you. I think one of the things when you talked about being submissive,
Yeah.
People don't understand. Submission is basically living a other-centered life instead of a self-centered life.
Yeah.
And so it's not a negative thing. You're living now for Rhoda, and Rhoda's living for you. Both of your needs are being met. Both of you feel much more comfortable and loving, and nobody's worried about being oppressed or put down. But you understand an other-centered living instead of a self-centered living. So that's a great thing. And I know that you guys will do well. I know the church. We used to be there years ago.
Yeah.
And so we're excited to see what's going to happen in you personally and as a couple, but what's going to happen in those young people, those people that you're preparing, that maybe they won't make the mistakes that their parents have or they've seen in other people because of what you're going to be able to put into them. So thank you so much for taking the time to share with us.
Maybe just to add on what something that also learned from that class is the idea about dying. Yeah, because dying to me now, it has a totally different meaning. I understand that the way Christ died for the church is the way me as a husband is supposed to die for her. It is not easy, but I know that by the grace of God, it's something that is going to be possible, because it's not about being selfish, not living for myself, but living for both of us, for the good of that marriage. One other thing that we also experienced, I think last week, I think it was on Friday, we learned about levels of communication.
Oh yes.
And we learned that we can easily connect when we move from the first, second, third. Now we go to the fourth and the fifth level of communication. It makes it more deeper. It's more emotional. And I think last week we had one such kind of conversation where we moved from just talking about things, but now we're talking about emotional issues. And for me, there was a very big difference in our communication. And this is something that I think I want to apply more and more in our marriage, so that I can be able to connect with the heart.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's true. And then the other thing that we've learned from you two is you've really been a role model to us. We've been working together, and just seeing you in class, teaching, working together about marriage, it was such a big thing to us, because at times we go and work together, or I'm called to go and teach somewhere. And at times they're torn in between, should I go with my husband or should I not? But from you, I've learned that it is good to work together. And just the way we are told that a two-tie cord, three-tie
strand cord.
yeah, it's stronger than a single one. So we are looking forward even to work more together with my husband.
Wonderful.
And let me just add that we really thank God for the two of you. We've learned a lot the way she's saying, because when you look at you, we find that you are comfortable with each other. What you are doing is not faking it.
Yeah.
It's real. And that is something that has really inspired us, and we want to live the same way. And more importantly, we just want to say that we want to ask if there is someone who's out there who is willing to support whatever the two of you is doing. Please do it, because it is going to bring a lot of difference in the lives of many people, in many marriages, in many families, and I believe in many nations and communities. Yeah.
Well, we thank the Lord for that, and we pray that, in fact, we know we'll be back. And when we get back here within a year or less, we'll want to get with you again and say, how's it working?
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there'll be some wonderful stories. But thank you for taking time today. Bless you.
Thank you.
Amen.
We'll be glad to be a part of that. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we love you.
Did you get it?